Hello, this is Jimbo, and I think it is extremely important for everybody, whether you're retired or not, to have at least one place where you can really relax. And I don't mean just relax, I mean really relax. A place you feel comfortable, a place you want to be. Now, for most people, that's probably your dwelling, and most people probably just have that. I feel very fortunate being on an acreage, and I've got a couple places that I can go for that I've built up through the years. The place that I'm in right now, I've mentioned in a couple other videos, is called the Hog House. So just to explain it, so there's some of the mystery can go away. It is an old hog farrowing barn, and a hog farrowing barn is a barn or a building that mama sows, when they're pregnant, when they're ready to give birth, they would bring them into a building like this, and this one is about 28 by 40. It's got a little room on the back added onto it. But there were 6 what they called crates, one in this row and one in that row over there. So there's a spot for the mama sow in the middle, and then there's room for the babies off to the side so that when she lays down, she doesn't lay on them. But that's what this was. And we bought this place almost 34 years ago, and we slowly started cleaning it up. We really didn't have a plan that this was going to become what some call a man cave. Of course, the ladies, they'd have their she shed. But it has really grown over the decades to a place that I really feel relaxed in here. When I look around, and I'm showing you some video of it probably right now, I have so many memories that are just etched in my brain. Just the wonderful people, the wonderful friends through all parts of my career, church friends, family. We've just had tons of memories built in this place. So like I said, whether you're retired or not, you really want to be comfortable in what you would call your castle. So your home, it's nice to be surrounded by memories, especially if you're getting older, your kids are gone if you had kids. One thing that people have in their living rooms is their children will give them one of those digital photo frames, and they can upload them through the internet and keep sending them photos and things. That's just, as a side note, one great thing to stay in touch, because life's about relationships. So having an item like that in your living room is a very simple way to have reminders of all those good times that you've had. Not meaning that you're done having good times. That's not what this is about. But having a place like this has really helped me. I got a group of guys that I mentioned before that we get together in here for small groups. We have wild game feeds in here where we have a bunch of friends come in. Every December, our church has an outdoor stable communion, and it's cold up here. We've had some freezing times where we go into a neighbor's barn, and the church people that want to go will go in there, celebrate some Christmas and communion, and then we will come in here and have a chili feed complete with hot dogs and all that. People bring food in here, and there's a table over there. It's an old ping pong table, and we just fill that with food. So I'm big on fellowship. Now, the way I'm talking, it makes it sound like this place is filled with people all the time. That is not the case. I would say probably 90 to 95% of the time that I've spent in here has been by myself. There's a double barrel wood burning stove over here. I like it when it's really cold out, sometimes even blizzarding, and you see the snow just blowing past the window, but I like coming in here and lighting a fire and feeling the wood heat. And you've probably heard a lot of people talk about, oh, I just love that wood heat. And there's something to it. There really is. So I've come in here many times. Before I built the garage, that back room was a tool room. So I would do my projects and stuff in here on that big table where the food goes, I told you. But standing by this wood fire, and it's 55-gallon barrels, so you're not seeing the flame. I see it when I load it on the bottom. But the feeling of that heat, and it can be an extreme heat. Of course, you regulate that by how close you stand and how big the fire gets and how you damp it down. But it is such a warm feeling, such a comfortable feeling. I do have, it used to be a projector, now it's a TV over there. and the sound system and audio system here is behind me. But coming in here when it's cold, and then you get that warm feeling coming up over here, and then maybe have whatever you like to watch. Me's Westerns, war movies, John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Put something up on the screen over there and get busy with the task at hand if you have a task. You don't have to have a task to be in your happy place, obviously. It might just be where you want to go to relax, and I've done that plenty. I've done it plenty where I've come in here with definite plans of I'm going to do this and this and this. And then I get in here. Takes a while to warm the place up, so you're by the fire some, then you walk away, and you're by the fire some more, and you walk away. And then next thing you know, you're just enjoying that feeling. And that's the feeling I'm talking about with relaxation. Now it's a Sunday right now when I'm filming this, and that is part of the retirement thing that I want to speak of a little bit. Does it matter what day it is? Some of my friends have joked about, you're retired when you forget what day it is. And I've had plenty of days like that. I've also had plenty of times where you've come up on your weekend, your Saturday or your Sunday, and your Sunday in particular, and maybe you didn't get a whole lot accomplished on that Friday, Saturday, or some days prior to that, but then it's Sunday and you haven't done much prior to that, but then you maybe get that pull that I better get something done, which is what we shouldn't be doing to ourselves in retirement, but sometimes you get that pull. I've had quite a few Sundays like that, and then I start preparing to do a task around the place, and then I just lose my energy. And I just kind of pull back, and I think about, it is Sunday, okay? Retired people can have their Sundays too. You don't have to justify if you don't want to do anything anyway. That's part of the freedom of being retired. A lot of people would say that's most of the freedom about being retired. So there's no guilt whatsoever. I remember my job, I had a lot of tasks I had to do. I had to keep a list because I just wasn't going to be able to remember it all. Plus I prioritized from that list. And that got into my home life, and on my portion of the kitchen table, I always had this little list of things that I wanted or felt like I needed to get done at home. And after a while, I just kept looking at that list, and I'm like, stressor, stressor, stressor. So then I get back to how I started this video. You have to feel the most comfortable when you're at home. And I wasn't. I was always feeling like I had to do this, had to do that. So I got rid of the list. And also my buddy Jose, he also told me once, he says, I don't keep lists because I want to exercise my brain. I can remember stuff like that. And every time that I'm walking around this place during the day, I might have a little bit of a plan of what I want to do, but I go through that list, if there is one in my head, and then I prioritize what I want to do right then. A lot of times I'll wake up and have my soft start in the morning, not even having a clue of what I want to get done. But then as I get going, what I thought I was going to do right away, I just get to it and I don't feel like it, and then I'll switch to something else. So the freedom of that is what I love. I think of Jose every time I do that because he's given me a lot of good advice through the years. That goes along with the thing about having a good group of friends that you can talk with about anything. And I've learned stuff from each one of the friends, and I've talked about a little bit of that before. In 2021, after I retired, I put up a garage with the help with a good group of friends. But that garage turned into a place where I really enjoyed being, because all the tools and things that were in here were now in there. I'm a media guy. I love music. I ran a disc jockey unit for 20 years, doing weddings, bars, that kind of thing. And a bunch of that equipment is in here. So I love having audio around. I love having video around. So of course in that garage, I put an audio video system in there. So I can put things on and just piddle around the place, doing whatever I'd like to do. The latest thing is my wife Mary and I are about 98% done with a farmhouse first floor remodel. So that is what I would consider my third place on our acreage to be able to go and just be very comfortable. We made it kind of a log accent theme or a cabin theme to match our upstairs, and we're just loving it. We saved up through the years, planned for it. She waited a long time for this, and I wanted her to not really make many decisions based on money. Now that was only possible because we planned and we made some good decisions in the past. That remodel project has made it so I basically have a third place to go to feel very comfortable and very relaxed. And it's really turned out nice. It's very comfortable, and we just keep looking at each other, being so happy that we planned the way we did. So I feel extremely fortunate that it's worked out that way. Not everybody's story is going to work out that way, but you don't have to have multiple places. I just pray that at least you can have the one place that you live that you can make very comfortable, surround yourself with memories, and continue to make more memories within. Now I do feel that I have a fourth place where I feel very comfortable and I'm happy to be at, and I'm looking out the window right now and I'm seeing a couple horses out there. So you don't have to have a structure or structures basically to have that place for yourself. I may end up doing some videos or doing some talks while I'm on horseback. I'm not sure yet. Like I said, most of this stuff is spontaneous. But 6 miles away from me is a state park, and it just takes me a few minutes to get there. And that makes me extremely happy being on horseback, and usually with a friend, because you like to share moments with friends. But I could be by myself doing it too and be just as happy. So you don't have to have multiple structures to have those happy places. Hopefully you've got the one, but the out of doors. Today it's actually a ways over 60 degrees in southeastern South Dakota here, and I was going to film out there, but it is way windy. It helped blow the warm air in, but she's windy out there. We'll see what the next couple days do. It won't be quite as warm. But the point is just having a place to go outside that you just love to be at. And I'll tell you what, our creation all around us, you can find beauty everywhere. A lot of people can be out here, say in the middle of South Dakota, out in the middle of nowhere, and not see the beauty of it. But I'll tell you what, if you learn to look and appreciate what true beauty is, it can just be so tranquil, and you can feel so relaxed, and you can appreciate everything in your life that you've done and that you're going to do. And it can just give you just that absolute warm and contented feeling. And that's the feeling that I hope for all of you to be able to find. And they pretty much say happiness comes in moments, but joy, feeling joy, you can feel that all the time, no matter what's going on in your life. So try to hold on to that, find places to relax, enjoy your friends, enjoy your alone time, and find that joy. So that's what I hope for all of you today. All right, take care.